it's not the survival of the fittest, it's survival of the most adaptive to change.
Yeah.
So whoever is actually better at adapting to new change is the one that's going to survive when there's like an ice age, or there's a meteor hitting, or there's AI, industrial revolution, IT, whatever is going on.
Yeah.
Whoever is light on their feet. And that's where we come in as well, because one of the reasons that we are not light on our feet is because we are stuck in our old ways of thinking. So we think that our thinking is us, rather than that we're just the potential of the universe, and then we have some thinking that gets stuck.
The way I see it, maybe it's too much of a simplification, but being able to stay present and act in real time, doing what makes sense to you, that is all you have to do to be adaptable, to be fit. I mean, if there is a huge amount of change coming up, I mean, I miss, at least for me, I don't remember living in a world that wasn't, in which people were not saying all the time, and the news were not saying all the time, it's changing, huge change at the horizon, you know. But to me, this is life. It's a world that it's changing constantly, and the moment I realized there is no, that the best way to even to take an opportunity is just to be present and act, respond in real time. That is all you have to do. Creating in real time.
Yeah. And I think right now, just at least being a little bit ahead of the curve and see that we're gonna AI is right. Well, it started out beating us at chess, and then it beat us at to Go, and then it was better at math, and then it was better at programming, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be pretty soon. It's gonna be better at everything, right? So it's gonna be exciting to see what the human potential of it's gonna be. Is it also gonna be able to pick up on the emotions of other people and come into a conversation with good timing? Or is it just going to be 2 + 2 is 4, right? No matter how smart it is, as far as we know, it's not conscious. And since it's not conscious, it cannot feel. And since it cannot feel, will that be a different... it's just an interesting discussion. I don't know what you guys think, but it's interesting.
Yeah. It definitely is. It's fascinating. So it definitely is. It's a new technology in a way, right? Like we could define that's what it is. And I do think kind of what Matteo was saying, that there is artificial intelligence, and it's gonna definitely change the way we do things radically, 360 degrees. I do think that what we talk about, which is kind of innate intelligence.
Yeah.
Right. So we have II.
Yeah.
That is, if we could see this and apply it as globally as we are seeing and applying AI, I think it would be as disruptive as not more. Like, because what we are saying, because they are saying, yo, guys, basically, we discovered that we can have a computer learn and create and produce from the learning outcomes, like output, right? Like that's obviously that can change all sort of things, from how you do diagnosis in a hospital to education to whatever, right? But at the same time, what we are saying is like, yeah, we discovered that we are made to access an infinite potential moment by moment, and we're guided through. Like if we kind of tap into it, what the best thing to do or say or express is. Like it's a constant act. Imagine if that could, like, if you could do this, snap your finger and have everyone in the world really see what we're talking about. I think that would be even more disruptive than AI. right? Like if you,
Yeah.
because, but truly, like, oh, but how does education change if we truly know that we're made this way? How does healthcare, does the healthcare system change if we truly know that this is how we're made? And especially in a world where AI is gonna pretty much do everything else besides connecting to wisdom in the moment, that we can do it. Like, it's even more important. Like, in a world where there is AI, I becomes the only, like, the human factor, right? I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, well, it makes total sense. To me, sometimes it's also the fact that that exists beyond the fact that we have different IQs, you know? I had this beautiful moment. I was down with my kids in the playground in the middle of the city, and I just saw this woman having such a beautiful connection with her kids, and that got me curious. I thought, I wonder what her secret is, right? Because she was just lovely. You just emanated love somehow. And I realized it was the contrast with me being a little bit agitated about time, right? And me almost wanting them to play efficiently so that we could.
I get it. Come on, guys.
You know what I'm talking about. Come on, could we
work,
hurry up
yes.
and playing and having fun, right? So I was hearing my own thinking, and I contrasted that with her obvious just being with her children. So I sat next to her, started talking to her, and I realized she was not the brightest candle in the cake, right? Let's just put it, I could run circles around her with the intellect. And she beat the crap out of me in the connection with her kids, right? The metaphor that showed up was that, for me, in my head, was that if we both have a sandwich right now, both of us have a sandwich. Now, obviously, apparently, if we took a SAT test or some kind of test, I would do better on that test than she would, right? But we eat that sandwich and we would digest it equally. She might even get more out of it because her blood is only digesting the food, and I'm spending a lot of time being in my head. So she might get more nutrition out of that thing. And that intelligence behind life is almost like a mental digestion, where it's like we connect to something bigger than our little hard drive between our ears. And then we digest all of that and take it together with whatever it is, and we come up with something as beautiful as what you just said, you know, where it's, can't remember exactly the words you had, but I thought it was really impactful when you said it's not logical, but it's magical, right? It's
yeah. See, where
right?
did they come from? I didn't write the speech.
Yeah, but it was just very, very. It was one of those that were just, yeah, that's exactly it. And I had this, and when you said that, I had that vision of her on the bench where I realized, well, she wasn't intellectual, but it was magical, right? For me, that was such an eye-opening moment to see that I might be smarter than her, and then somebody sits next to me and she's smart. She is smarter than me, but we're all having access to the same level of wisdom.
Yeah.
Right? You could see it flow through, and some are more beautiful, some are faster when we coach athletes, some can jump higher, but if they just drop out of that obvious judgment of everything, we are all connected to the same kind of wisdom or the intelligence behind life, or whatever words our little hard drive needs to use, right? But there we have something, like you said there, that I thought was so beautiful, that it's not, you know, logical, intellectual, it's just magical. And that we have something there that I have a hard time imagining, and I might be wrong, that AI would ever be able to touch, because it doesn't seem like something mechanical would be able to touch that.
I think I had an insight about humanity, or but it's trying to put it into words. It makes it pretty simple, or almost trivial. I think we might have done with our homework as humans with AI. If you take away all the fears we had about this intelligence taking control and being stronger than us, which may happen, we don't know. But the thing, we started inventing machines with, like, you know, fire, stones, and to help survive. AI now, we already know that it's going to take care of everything that we thought we had to do to survive. So it could be the biggest chance ever to actually take care of who we really are. It could even be the biggest chance we have to just listen, to listen to this world, to listen to each other, to listen to the universe. Maybe that's it, and it's going to be huge. There is going to be this moment in which humanity, okay, we are done with our homework. There is nothing else we have to do. Who are we? For real, who are we? And that could be cool.
Mic drop.
Yeah. Yeah. Could be cool. And I think that's why our conversation is so important, because I've never seen anybody be mean or selfish while they're in a good state of mind. When you're feeling good, usually you're pretty nice to be around. You wouldn't start a fight. And the reason that we're fighting is that people are insecure in their thinking, and they don't know the most important part of that sentence, which is, no, you're not insecure. You just have insecure thinking that looks really real to you. But you, like you said, who am I? You are not insecure. It's just your thinking that is temporarily insecure, and you're taking it very seriously because you don't quite know how this works. But that leaves us in that position where I think there was some philosopher who said that it's incredible to me how many people that wish for eternal life who don't even know what to do with themselves on a rainy Sunday afternoon. Right? and I think
That's a cool
when
phrase.
we understand, yeah. So, everybody's talking about, I want to live forever, and I can't even stand being with me for an afternoon when it's raining outside, right? So why would you want an extra 1,000 years of that? So to me, the unlocking of what we're talking about here is the fact that we never have a relationship with another human being. We have a relationship with our thinking about that other human being. And if our relationship with our thinking doesn't change, nothing will change for us. So it's not the thinking that has to change, it's the relationship with that thinking that needs to change. So I don't have to think more positive. I don't have to think more constructive. I just have to have a better relationship with what's going on and what the thinking is and who I am behind all of that. And to me, that's the beautiful part of this conversation. Once people see it, it's like, wow.
So, in one of our first conversations, maybe the first conversation, we were talking about, like, making this sexy. Right?
Yeah.
But honest, like, I feel like all these things we're saying, I mean, I don't see anything more like interesting and powerful than all the possibilities we just pictured, like, yeah, what do you do? Yeah, I just sort of like help people like align themselves with like the wisdom of the universe. Like, that's what?
Yeah. That's
like, if you really look at that, like, it's what else, man? Especially when anything else is going to be taken care of. One way or the other.
Because we're all going to be stuck on that rainy afternoon after a while, right? And if I'm not having a good time or a good relationship with me and my thinking and who I am behind all of that, then that's going to be terrible, right? But if I do have that relationship, that's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
Right? So because then I can spend my time doing all these wonderful things to enrich the life of myself and others, right?
And we always say, if you imagine this conversation almost like removing the leash from you, but it's not like, we try to let people understand that it's not just, hey, look, basically this is your life with the leash, and then if you work with us, it's going to be the same life, just without the leash. So you don't have like pain in your jaw, and you don't have like to pull. No, because the moment you don't have the leash, your life will change. Because like the world opens up. Who knows? Like you're not gonna do the same thing probably when you're connected. You're not gonna have the same ideas. You're not gonna have the same impact. So it's not just what I have now, but nicer, as in feeling better. It's like the moment I feel better, who knows what you're capable of? Who knows what you're gonna do? And
Yeah.
that's the thing.